Welcome back, everybody. Derrick Soo, your East Oakland advocate. Well, I'm going to be closing out the year here. And as I close out the year, I want to talk about a few of the closing big topics that came up today and have been also a lingering issue. This morning, I woke up to the news that the Oakland NAACP, the entire Oakland NAACP, is calling for the ouster of Mayor Sheng Tao and the entire Oakland City Council. And I agree. Uh, Sheng Tao, she claims that she inherited the problem when she took office, when she was elected mayor, and that's a flat out lie. She was part of the problem that created the problem and the circumstances that got Oakland into this situation while she was on the city council under Mayor Libby Shaft. So this wasn't any surprise. And she was also one of those of the three. It was her, Nikki Fornutado Bass, and also Rebecca Kaplan, who were calling for defund the police, defund the police, defund the police. Well, all those stupid politicians that said defund the police are now regretting all of those stupid words that they said a year or, about a little more than a year ago. And that was because of George Floyd. And we know that that was a horrible circumstance, and George Floyd should not have lost his life. And all of those police officers that were involved in that, they are in prison right now, and they're still subject to civil suits. So their problems aren't over. But NAACP says that the residents of Oakland, especially the Black community, is not feeling safe, and that the mayor nor the city council has done enough to protect you, the tax-paying residents of Oakland and Alameda County. And I agree with them. And I've been saying from the get-go, before she even took office, that Mayor Sheng Tao was unqualified for this position. And it's really showing her lack of ability, her lack of imagination, no vision. And the same goes for Nikki Fornutado Bass and the rest of the council. And so I agree with the NAACP in this matter. Also, this morning announced longtime supervisor for Alameda County, Keith Carson, announced his 30-year retirement. He is retiring at the end of his term, and he is not going to run for re-election. And his career spans 30 years. That's a long time for to be elected into that seat and stay there. That's a lot of confidence for his constituents of Alameda County. Also, since we're also losing the Oakland A's, Oakland needs to find a new identity, because it's not sports. Oakland is no longer a sports team. We have a so-called baseball team that I don't think they're going to go very far. It'll probably help a little bit for those that will be losing MLB after next season, after the close of 2024. We're not going to have any sports team other than soccer. Oakland Roots, they're not a major league player yet, but they are a very good team, an up-and-coming team. So are the women's league, the Oakland Soul. And so I do support those teams to keep team sports and perhaps move on from the disastrous past that we've had with the other sports teams, and maybe we can start something anew with soccer. And soccer is the up and coming future of sports, not MLB, not football, and not basketball. Soccer is the fastest growing sport currently, and it is supported and watched by the world, not just some countries, it's all countries of the world. And so it is a sport that should be supported and heavily supported. And it is, I know, because I watched the sport develop during the 80s with my own stepson. Alameda had soccer leagues all over the island, from one end of the island to the other. And Saturday, up until 1, 2 o'clock in the afternoon, was dominated by soccer leagues all over Alameda. And so I do support soccer. On the homeless front, we've had some issues. Monday was Oakland HOG meeting, and I was in attendance. HOG standing for Homeless Advocacy Working Group, and we are a group of residents, Oakland residents, Alameda County residents, Oakland businesses, Oakland political representatives from Oakland City Council, and also sometimes from the supervisor's office and other political offices do join in on our HOG meetings on the first and third Mondays of every month. But for the holiday season, we moved it to just one meeting, which was this past Monday, the 11th. And at that meeting, probably the most pressing thing that we had to talk about was the Henry J. Robinson building. And I bring that up because that's where some of Oakland's homeless are housed, in the Henry J. Robinson building. And they're also taught life skills and self-sufficiency skills during that 90-day period that they're in there. But the problem is, this is the second year now of no heat inside of a building. And this is a captive audience. This is a live-in program. And so these folks are complaining, and City of Oakland pays millions of dollars to this program, supported and operated by BACS, Bay Area Community Services, an organization that I have lobbied against for years, and I continue still to lobby against them. They do have some redeeming features that are going on right now in a housing program that's being administered very quietly. And the only reason why I know so much about what's going on the program is because I have people that are planted in each of these programs of BACS. And so I get reports back about these programs. And the group home programs have been doing pretty well. I haven't had any complaints from the three different group homes that BACS runs in East Oakland. So that's one of the big positives. But I know that the Henry J. Robinson building is a very, very old building, and so probably it's on a boiler system, more than likely, and the boiler system is very antiquated and probably is long since past its prime and useful lifespan, because that building's well over 100 years old. And so the heating system, usually it's the same heating system, and it's operated for this long, and it's time to retire it, and the building wiring is antiquated, and so that whole building is old, and that's the problem with a lot of the things that Oakland seems to keep dumping on the homeless folks is problematic buildings or antiquated buildings that are past their useful lifespan. And so Oakland needs to come up with a better plan, and they're wasting money. Again, they're just wasting your tax dollars. They're not solving the problem. They're just pushing the problem down the road, as they have done over the last 10 years. And so Mayor Shane Tao is being called to task, which she should be. She is not qualified. She claims to have been homeless, but her homeless is very, very limited, because she actually lived in her car in a friend's driveway. And so that's not really being homeless. That's not real homelessness. So she has no real experience on homelessness either. So again, she didn't lie, but she bent the truth. And then City of Oakland, before the Christmas holidays, will be closing 17 homeless encampments out of the 1,148 encampments that Oakland has currently. They will be closing 17 of them. And most of those are going to be in West Oakland, around Ramundi Park and Wood Street. And so Oakland is still having issues with the closure of Wood Street, even though they put up this so-called 100 bed shelter down there, and it's being operated by an organization that I don't agree with. In fact, Oakland doesn't have any organization that I agree with. I do work with organizations that are very good, like Building Futures with Women and Children. They are an excellent organization that helps women out of domestic violence and very bad situations, and to bring their children and their pets with them also. And so I support them. They're one of the best organizations here, and housing more people than anybody else here in the Bay Area. So also the sad thing about closing out the year, evictions are at an all-time high in filings here in Alameda County. And so we'll be seeing a lot of evictions coming in the new year, unfortunately. But these are some of the issues that are plaguing our city as we close out 2023 and head into 2024. I myself, I have my to-do list of things here, because we have to reinforce our perimeter because of all the recent break-ins and attempted break-ins. A number of criminals that have climbed over our fence. Plus, we found one crawling in the walls of our warehouse earlier this week, or actually last week. It was Friday of last week that I found that burglar crawling around in the walls of my warehouse. So we have a lot of things to do, and then we have the holidays. Next week is the last full business week of the year, so to speak, because after that, next weekend is Christmas Eve, and Christmas is on Monday, the 25th. So next week will be only the last final week. If you haven't been doing your shopping, next week is your final week, and next weekend, not this weekend, but the next weekend will be your last opportunity for last minute shopping before Christmas, because Christmas Eve is on Sunday this year, and Christmas on Monday. Same thing goes for New Year's Eve and New Year's. It's going to be on Sunday and Monday. So for a lot of you, we'll have a very, very long weekend. Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. I remember those weeks. And when I was a business owner, I just closed down the business the last 2 weeks of the year because literally there was no work for my construction crew. Uh, there was work for uh, my military attachment. So there was always work there. But we'll see what happens in the new year. NAACP wields a lot of power here, and calling for the ouster of the Oakland mayor, Sheng Tao, and the ouster of all of the city of Oakland City Council. I do support that. And I fully plan on voting out every one of them in the next election. Thank you for joining me today. Happy holidays, and it's been a great year sharing it with you. Happy holidays, Merry Christmas, Happy Kwanzaa.